October 14th, 2024. Heavy rain covered the countryside as historian Daniel Carter drove along a narrow road toward Blackwood Manor. The estate had recently been purchased by a restoration company after sitting empty for over 100 years. Workers had already reported strange discoveries: locked rooms, hidden passages, furniture that looked untouched since the Victorian era. Daniel wasn't interested in ghost stories. He was interested in history. Every abandoned building carried forgotten memories. And sometimes those memories changed everything. As he stepped through the massive wooden entrance, the smell of dust, damp wood, and old stone filled the air. The house was silent. Too silent. No birds, no insects, only the sound of rain tapping against cracked windows. The project manager greeted him. "We found something under the library floor." Daniel smiled. "Let's have a look." The library had once been magnificent. Thousands of empty bookshelves reached toward the ceiling. Portraits covered the walls. Most faces had faded beyond recognition. Workers had removed several wooden floorboards. Beneath them rested a small iron box. No lock, no markings, just decades of rust. Daniel carefully lifted the lid. Inside lay 3 objects: a silver pocket watch, a folded map, and a sealed envelope. The paper had turned yellow with age. Across the front, written in beautiful black ink, were only 7 words: "To the last honest man who finds this." The room became completely quiet. One worker laughed nervously. Daniel slowly broke the wax seal. Inside was a handwritten letter. "If these words have survived, then I have failed. My name has been erased. The Crown will deny I ever existed. But before they silence history forever, someone must know what happened inside Blackwood Manor during the winter of 1847. Daniel stopped reading. His heartbeat quickened. The handwriting was elegant, professional. Whoever wrote this had been educated. Yet there was no signature, only one strange symbol at the bottom: a raven standing upon a key. Back at his hotel, Daniel scanned every page into his computer. He searched museums, government archives, university collections. Nothing. No family crest matched the raven. No official record mentioned Blackwood Manor in 1847. It was as if someone had deliberately erased an entire chapter of history. That made Daniel even more curious. The next morning, he visited the local village. An elderly woman working inside a tiny antique shop noticed the folded map sticking out of his bag. She immediately froze. "Where did you find that?" Daniel hesitated. "Inside Blackwood Manor." The woman's face turned pale. "You should put it back." Daniel smiled politely. "It's just an old map." "No," she whispered. "It's a warning." Before Daniel could ask another question, she reached beneath her counter and placed an old photograph in front of him. The picture had been taken around 1910. It showed 6 men standing outside Blackwood Manor. 5 looked directly at the camera. The 6th man had no face, not blurred, not damaged. It was simply missing, as if someone had carefully removed it. "Who did that?" Daniel asked. The woman shook her head. "No one knows. They say every person who tried to learn his name disappeared." Daniel almost laughed. Old villages were full of legends, yet something about her voice felt genuine. She wasn't trying to scare him. She looked frightened herself. That evening, Daniel returned to the manor. The workers had already left. Rain clouds covered the moon. He walked alone through the library, carrying only a flashlight. The silver pocket watch suddenly began ticking. Daniel frowned. It had been broken. He picked it up. Tick, tick, The second hand moved backward, not forward. Backward, exactly 60 seconds. Then it stopped. A loud click echoed beneath the floor. Daniel aimed his flashlight downward. One of the stone tiles had shifted. There had been no mechanism before. Slowly, he pushed the stone aside. Cold air rushed upward. Hidden beneath the library was a narrow staircase disappearing into complete darkness. Someone had wanted this place to remain hidden for almost 200 years. Daniel took a deep breath. He switched on his flashlight and stepped into the darkness. Without realizing, someone else inside Blackwood Manor had just heard him.